to bring to you. So some more HR stuff to share with you.
This was a perfect setup. Speaking of HR audits and HR questions and PTO time and Oregon sick leave and all that, who in this room has anyone in this room gotten a chance to access this service or log in? I know there's a few people so far, but I don't know if anybody's in attendance today. No?
You guys have.
We did.
Yes.
We didn't get
Yeah.
very far in it though. We're real busy.
Yay.
We kind of jumped in. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so a couple of things. Over the course of the next 15 minutes, or depending on how fast I talk, my goal is to explain to you a little bit about the partnership that we formed with DDI, what this gives you guys as tools to be able to utilize. I'm going to tell you a little bit about HR AnswerLink and the history and what services we offer, and then go over a little bit into how it's bundled into your offering already with DDI and pricing and stuff. So if anybody has any questions as we go along, please, I like interruptions, so please feel free to interrupt me. So I want to start off with this slide. It's one of my favorite slides. Every time I talk to somebody, I have this slide with me because this gives you a good idea of what exactly we do. These are the questions that we get from business owners throughout the country. We work with approximately 70,000 small to medium-sized businesses nationwide. And I'm sure a lot of these questions are not surprising to many of you. One of my employees has shown up late to work every day this week. What can I do? One of my employees has hygiene issues. What can we do? Always a sensitive subject. And my personal favorite, I'd like to terminate an employee, but I think she might be pregnant. What should I do? So again, reiterating that these many business owners throughout the country are in need of assistance in helping handle the day-to-day employee relations. So what's the problem that brings these questions to us? Managing people is hard work. It's hard to find the right hardworking, talented candidates to hire. A lot of times for small businesses, by competing in the marketplace with some of the larger firms that are offering so many different employee perks and benefits. And then once small businesses find that right candidate to hire, it's often hard to figure out which laws apply to them, because that depends on how many employees you have, where you're located at, sometimes even what city you're located at, as Laura just mentioned. And so it increasingly makes HR more and more difficult. The demand for an HR solution is increasing, especially as compliance is getting increasingly complicated. Many business owners, can you see that screen okay? There's a little bit of orange, but at the bottom it says HR is a pain point. That's how a lot of people view HR. And so what our goal is to make it easy, simple, and approachable. Our goal is to help you thrive through building a great workplace. So, to give you an idea, you can see those stars. Yeah, it's a little bit dark. Turn it down. That's okay. Did you turn the light? I do that.
Oh, you know the buttons?
She knows the buttons.
Is it working? Is it blowing?
I don't think I can shut this.
And then,
The buttons for that are right over there. Oh, okay.
yeah, here's that. I don't know if that helped. Oh, the lights are off.
Yeah, that's even better.
Oh, well, there's plenty of lights still, right? We're okay.
Yeah, we're good. So we track our metrics very carefully to ensure that we are giving, sound advice in a quick manner. Make sure that, that we're satisfying these questions that small businesses have. So over the course of the last 5 years for HR AnswerLink, we've had a 4.8 out of 5 user rating. We ask you every time you submit a question to us, or every time you utilize our portal, to rate us across 5 metrics. How helpful was the probe? How quickly was the question answered? how thorough was the question answered, to get some feedback from you guys on, what it is that we need to do better. And then 98% of users said they would recommend our service. So just a little bit more on this. When you submit a question, the median response time back to you as a business owner is going to be 2 hours. That's average, okay? That said, there's some questions that are relatively straightforward and may only take 15 minutes to respond to or to research, and others that are a lot more in depth and need a lot more research. So guaranteed business response time is 1 business day. You will have a response back. You can call our pros, and we'll get into that a little bit on how you can reach our pros, but the average is 2 hours. So if I was to ask everybody in this room, before you figure out the color coordinating thing happening up on the screen, what do you think the most popular HR issue is throughout the country right now? What would you say? The most painful HR issue? Compliance. Yeah, what aspect of compliance? You have a guess? So when I was asked this, I said ACA. What first came to my mind, healthcare reform, ACA. So ACA is popular, but actually the orange box that just appeared, 70% of the questions that we get have to do with HR administration, employment laws, benefits, leaves, wage and hour. So again, it's reiterating that while immigration, discrimination issues, terminations, ACA, it's all important. It's the day-to-day stuff that people are turning to that they need, that help with. I do want to bring out, we run this every single quarter, and last quarter, recruiting and hiring made it in the top 70%. So that was, to us, a really good sign that the economy's picking up and more business owners are focused on the hiring aspect. So I would like to introduce you to the people behind the name HR AnswerLink. This is part of our HR team. And a couple of things I want to mention. The average years of experience on our team of HR pros is 13 years. And combined, they have over 200 years of experience. So this is included with the service that DDI is offering to you. You have access to our HR pros in-house. Every single pro is certified through both SHRM and HRCI, as they've divorced and are now 2 separate entities, so they have to get certified through both. And we have pros ranging from PHRs, which is a professional in human resources, all the way up to GPHR, which is the top that you can get, global and professional human resources. They do a lot of, when you get to global, that's more or less the international type laws. Amy, who is listed up in the top middle, worked with Mercy Corps for years. So if there's ever any immigration issues that you have, she'd be great to have, but a lot of knowledge on the team. The other thing I want to bring out, 2 other things. One, all of our content is done in-house, and it's done by these same pros. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the service and the portal, but any content that you get out of our portal is written by these same pros that you can pick up the phone and call. The second thing is we hire people who are not just sitting there Googling the law and reading it, off of a piece of paper in their cubicle, like other outsourced, nationwide HR firms. These are people that are dedicated not just in helping you understand the law, but helping you implement it and helping you understand best practices going forward so that your business stays compliant. So the availability of the service you have, we're available Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over the phone, online, through our portal, which we'll get into. And we also now have a mobile app. So if you have Google Play, iTunes Store, any access to either of those, you can download it. It's called HR Pro Mobile. And right from your cell phone, you can submit a question to our pros or download any information. And then the last thing is the access is truly unlimited. So you don't get 5 questions a month. You can call them 5 times a day. Don't tell them I said that, but you're good. So now let's get down to dissecting what this offering is that DDI is giving to you guys. We have two different levels of service. We have our HR support center, and we have HR on demand. I'm going to get into the HR support center first, but this piece right here, the HR on demand, is that unlimited consulting piece where you have the pros right there at your on-call. And DDI is offering both together. They're not separating them for you guys. So the HR support center, that's a screenshot of once you log into the portal, what you'll see. It'll be branded for DDI with their coloring scheme. They'll have a message for all of their clients right there on the top left-hand side. And this support center is loaded with tools, documents, articles, trainings, anything HR related. I call it the Google of HR because it really is. The search button there on the top right-hand side is my favorite thing ever. So you just type in ACA, termination, whatever we have in the system comes back to you. So whether it's an article that a pro wrote or a question that another business owner asked that's been sanitized to be shared, with others. So yeah, tons of information. We have an employee handbook wizard coming very soon. It's set to be released by the end of the year, so you can go online and create your own employee handbook template. Yes.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Is this specific to Oregon, Washington, or is this across the United States?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we service and support nationwide,
Okay.
but there's state-specific information on all 50 states. So when you go online, the first thing you're going to do is create a profile. You're going to be asked to select what state you operate out of and what states you want to follow. So some companies maybe operate
in 2 states.
Yeah. So some companies, if you operate, let's say in Oregon and California, you can select both states. The other cool thing too is when you log in, there's information up at the top that will, it's called the What's New For You feed, and it will auto-populate. There's an algorithm in the system that enables it to auto-populate based upon the states that you selected. So if something happened recently in Oregon, that's going to be first when you log into your support center. Gets to know ya. So a couple things about the HR support center. Within the HR support center, there's training on demand. This is a whole library of trainings on so many HR topics, some of the most important popular HR topics of the moment. So it was interesting earlier, mandate reporting, we were talking about 1094 forms, 1095 forms. One of our pros who is a guru, I think she does this for fun. She Googles IRS documents and reads them at night. I don't know. But she took the time to do an in-depth training. We have a podcast now as well as a training on demand on how to fill out the 1094 and 1095 form. So that's all included within that support center. And then here's just a few of the different, there's so many more than this. Every month we're creating more to this library, but just as an example, some of the recent ones, Unemployment 101, Religious Accommodation, and of course the ACA, mandate reporting.
Does this include any kind of employee type training, like they have to have in California, they have to have,
Thank you.
harassment training?
Good
every 2 years?
question. Yeah. So the AB 1825, we do have a sexual harassment prevention training that satisfies that requirement, and it's held quarterly. So you can just go on and sign up. That's really the only employee-facing training, though. Most of the other trainings are for business owners and office, managers and HR staff on how to stay compliant. But yeah, we do have that. Yes. Uh-oh. Everybody loves pretty pictures. So the new thing that we came out with is some really the new thing of the day of the new generation is infographics. The millennials, they love it. And there's actually one on millennials. You should read it sometime. It's great. But we have these coming out every month, I believe. Every month added to the support center. Feel free to print them out, paste them up in your office. Lots of good information, and for those who don't just like to read a white paper with lots of words on it in a graphical form. And then we just released 7 HR calculators. anywhere from how much does it cost me to lose an employee and rehire a new one, cost per hire, employee turnover. Very excited about the 3 ACA calculators. So helping you to determine if it applies to you, and if it does apply to you, you don't do it, how much is going to be my penalty? And then finally, there's a whole bunch of information packed in the support center, but as we talked about earlier, when you go online and you select the states that you want information on, anytime a new law is passed on a federal level or on one of those states levels that you're following, you'll receive this email called the e-alert, and it will have all of the information. Our director of HR content is also practicing attorney, and she goes through and writes it in 12th grade in English, so it's easy to understand how it applies. But every single time something comes out, you guys are notified. And then on the left-hand side, we have the HR snapshot that goes out weekly. That's a sanitized question and answer that one of our pros has received from a small business owner. Gives you an idea of what other people are struggling with and what the answer is and the advice that they've been given. And then on the right-hand side is our monthly newsletter, a lot of HR content in it. So you will receive these as part of it. And then finally, the next step to the service is the HR on demand portion. And this is our unlimited consulting with our HR pros for you. So you have access to our entire HR team. You can ask them questions. You can submit it, like we mentioned earlier, through the website. Pick up the phone and call them. Custom handbook development. They will help you develop one from scratch. They will review one that you have. So over 3 years old, they're going to recommend that you do a new one, but to make sure that you have policies in place like Laura was mentioning before something happens. Document customization. If you need a specific job description that's not already in our system, maybe one a little bit tailored to your industry or your needs, they'll create one for you. Whatever it is that you need. Termination documentation, hiring documentation. And then our HR concierge is the live chat function. So if you simply can't find what you're looking for or just want to say hi, we man that all day long. Feel free to talk to us. So I don't know, what does that word say? It's included. The most important word, this orange word right here is included. So the whole entire service, the support center and the HR on demand, DDI is so generously, I work with over, I do have to say for a minute, I work with over 700 partners throughout the country, and this is one of, by far, the most generous things I've seen as far as offering this to clients. DDI is going to absorb the cost and offer this included for all of their outsourcing clients. So if you are an outsourcing client, you have access to this. If you are not an outsourcing client, you still can try it for 2 months for free. Unlimited. Go get a handbook done. Send a question to our pros. Get a feel for the service. And then after that, it's $50 a month. That's all I got. Any questions? Yeah.
All right. And I didn't give you. One kind of neat thing though about HR Answer Link is that they are headquartered in Portland.
Can't hear you.
Oh, HR Answer Link is headquartered in Portland and a national firm, but I think the story of the owners coming up here.
Yeah, so we originally we started in Pleasanton, California, and it's a family-run business. And they, long story short, one of the daughters and her husband, who was an attorney at the time, moved up to Portland. He was working for Perkins Coie. He's actually now our CEO. And they loved Portland so much. The other families started coming up, and it was the total Portlandia thing that we were talking about earlier with the food. Fell in love with the food carts, everything, so we relocated the whole company up here.
We're lucky to be able to see them face to face.
Yes, right downtown.
Take care of people nationally, so we're just really excited about partnering with their firm and excited for you guys to try it out. You just need a login. We'll be reaching out to you if we haven't already to see if you'd like to use this service. So I hope this has been a good overview of different resources. Very grateful to our speakers for putting your presentations together and speaking with us. Please be sure to take the champagne gift and all the goodies, the payday bars from Tom, at home with you. That's our gift to you. And if you didn't get your parking stub validated, Contessa can help you with that. So be sure to see Contessa in the back there. So stay connected with us. If you're not getting our e-newsletters, I think you all are, be sure to reach out to us and we'll make sure you're on that e-newsletter list. Like us on Facebook. We also post lots of stuff on Facebook. Contessa's helping us be better at that. And also, Kristen loves speaking in front of cameras and has started a vlog on, what's it called? The Kristen's Lowdown?
Kristen's Lowdown. It's not like I love speaking in front of cameras, but it's a really fun way to get timely information out. So Contessa has helped me do that, and we're kind of all around Portland doing these vlogs on really fun insurance information. So.
Exciting health insurance. So those are linked into our Facebook and whatever every few weeks. So lots of ways to stay connected with us. Thank the speakers, to Altabira. I also want to thank Jeff Dodge, who is our videographer for the day. He is video and putting the slides online, and you'll be able to go to our website and watch all of this again if you want to share it with.
That's scary. I started thinking about that. What did I say about the different rate ranges?
Yeah, well, there's attorneys in the room. That's
Started up.
yeah, we're protected, right? Reckless insurance broker. So anyway, you can share that with your colleagues back at the office, and it'll be cataloged. If you just want to watch one presentation or a piece of it, you'll be able to click and watch it again and download the slides. And before I close up, I'd also like to thank my parents, Bob and Rita, who are a part of the email list, and ours if he didn't show up for breakfast. So